Oh, hello. Guess what? Part 2. Time to finish our plum pudding. So are you ready? So I have got the plum puddings all cooked. It's been over an hour and 15 minutes. While they steamed, they came out perfectly. And I'm ready to take them out of the molds and make what they call the hard sauce. So let me flip this around. Here we go. Here's our stove. So here's what we have on the stove. We have a pan warming, and I'm just putting this in here for a minute because I don't want to put it in there cold. This is just a mason jar. You can use any kind of jar, any kind of heat-proof glass jar. You can always do this in the microwave as well. If this takes too long, I'm going to switch to the microwave, but we're going to try it for now. And I'm going to put this down here. First thing I'm going to do is take that jar, and I'm going to put 6 tablespoons of butter in there. That's 3/4 of a stick of butter. Use real butter for this. This is unsalted butter. Trust me, you want the real good stuff in here. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here in the jar. And that's going to melt. And I'm going to put that in the water here. I'm going to get that to start melting before I add the other ingredients. Because I'm going to add that whipping cream in there. And the whipping cream can be a little bit cold. I've taken the whipping cream out, so it's not ice cold. But it's not hot either. So I'm going to get this stuff going first. Then we're going to unmold the cakes because I want this to start going. Alright, let's see how our butter's doing here. Oh, yep, butter's getting nice and melted in this very hot water. I've got it on pretty high now, but I'm not going to leave it on high once I get the other stuff in there. Okay, so what you're going to use is you're going to use the 6 tablespoons of butter, which is 3/4 of a stick. A pint of heavy cream, which is 2 cups. This is your pint of heavy cream. And you're going to add in 2 cups of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. Alright, let's see how this is doing. You gotta be careful now, this will start getting hot, of course, so we will get out our nice little hot pad so we don't burn our hand. There we go. Alright, so that butter is melting fairly well. I just want to make sure it gets all the way melted. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm wanting to speed it up a little bit because I'm ready for something good. I think I'm going to use, I have all kind of Christmas dishes, but I'm going to use this little clear bowl to serve this in because I want you to be able to see it. Since I'm showing it. Okay, now that's boiling and I don't want it, so I'm going to turn that down. I don't want it going crazy boiling. Okay, so let's swish this around a little bit. I'm just swishing this around for the butter to melt. Come on, little butter. There we go. So then I'm going to add, I think I'm going to try the powdered sugar first. It doesn't really matter what order you put this in. It's going to have to be stirred and all melt down anyway. So I'm going to use a 1/2 cup measure for my powdered sugar. I don't know what the deal is, but the powdered sugar I've been buying in the store lately is lumpy. When it's in the store, I don't know why that is. Okay, let's see how well we can do this without making a total mess. You know what? That's not going to work. That's a small little mouth. So we're going to do different. I'm going to dump this powdered sugar onto a paper towel to see what this does. Because I want to funnel it in. Look at there. Yes, indeed. That's a 1/2 cup right there. It's a little slow. I'm trying to get it in the jar. Really what you want is a wide mouth jar if you're going to use a jar. And I don't have one. I don't have one of this size that's wide mouth. Come on, it's going to take me all night to do this, isn't it? There's half a cup. That's one. I gotta do that 3 more times. Okay. Oops, won't spill the other way. Here, I'm gonna do it again. Just funnel it right in there. Come on, baby. There's 2. That's 1 cup total, because I'm using half a cup measure. Alright, I'm kind of making a mess over here, but you can't see it. Powdered sugar's a little messy. Okay, here we go again. Like I say, wide mouth jar is going to be better, but using what I got today and microwave faster, but that's okay. This is how my former mother-in-law always did this, and I think her sister-in-law too, the one where the recipe came from. Well, you know, they didn't have microwaves back in the day. And that was 3/4 of a so it was 1 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to do it one more time. Now, if you missed part 1 of this video, go back and watch it, because it shows how I made the plum pudding cake. So, this is plum pudding we're making. It is a British dessert brought over by my former in-laws family. So I've had this recipe for a while. It's an English dessert. It is actually a steamed raisin spice cake. There's number 4. That's a total of 2 cups. Steamed raisin spice cake served with a liquid cream hard sauce. It's called hard sauce. Nothing hard about it, but it's called hard sauce. Okay, so there is my 2 cups of powdered sugar and my 3/4 of a stick of butter, which is 6 tablespoons. There, now that's going to stay down in there in that warm water. So what I have here, you will see, is kind of a double boiler situation. So I have, oh, I've got it directly in the water though, so it's really more than a double boiler. A real double boiler, it doesn't actually touch the water, but this can touch the water. So we have a pan full of hot, from time to time, bubbling water. You just want real hot water. And a glass mason jar, because you know that's heat proof. And then I've got 3/4 of a stick of butter, which is 6 tablespoons, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and now we're going to have our 2 cups of heavy cream. Yes, heavy whipping cream. That's a pint, which is this size little jar, and you just pour that in. And now we're going to let it all warm on the stove here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find a spoon that I can put down in that jar. How will that do? I think that'll do. Okay, yeah. And then we're going to stir. And it'll, when you first put this together, because it's kind of chilled, it might look lumpy. The butter will be warm and the cream won't. It'll kind of look lumpy and separated, and have no fear. It will all come together. Okay, look at this. Oh boy. Look at the color of that yellow from that butter. Ooh. This is what makes this dessert spectacular. Now it can take a little while for this to heat up on the stove. So I may, if it doesn't get hot enough fast enough, I may microwave a little bit of it. It's really best if you serve this warm. It really is. So if you have the plum pudding warm and you have the sauce warm, that's the best right there. I have my little spoon rest is dirty, so I'm going to use a very clever paper towel. New spoon rest, paper towel. Okay. Look at this. Watch this spoon. Oh, look at that stuff just pour off of there. So good. Okay, let's put that upside down. Now, let's look at our little plum puddings over here. Ta-da! Oh, look at them. Such pretty little babies. You see, they're still not anywhere near the top, so they have plenty of space in there. And it's okay, see it cracks a little bit sometimes on the top. Perfectly fine, see? It's a little spongy. This is one of the ways you can tell it's done when you take them out. I've never had them not be done after an hour and 15 minutes, so you can take your little tester, stick all the way down in, of course. Now, these have been sitting out here for about 20-25 minutes or so, half hour. So, let us see if they'll come. Oh, yeah, look at this. I smacked it twice on the bottom. Watch this. He is coming right out. Come on, baby. Ho, ho. He's so pretty. Okay, so we take off our little wax paper. Look, it's a little cake. And it's a little moist on the bottom, but that's fine. It's a little wet. It's steamed, so it's kind of moist. I'll lay him there to dry. Let's try another one. See, this is what I did. Oh yeah, look, watch. These are loose. This is what happens if you have smooth-sided hands. I'm not too sure why we have this light over here. It's the flour that got light over there, I guess. Interesting. Doesn't usually do it. You know what? That left the wax paper in the bottom. That's never happened before. Okay, there we go. My little thing is making weird noises over here. Look, that one has a nice little crack on the top. Crack doesn't hurt. All right, let me go see what we're doing over here making all this racket. Let's turn it down just a tiny bit. Oh, he's warming up very nice. You don't want this on real high because it is sitting right on the bottom of the pan. So I've got that about 3 now. Is it warm yet? Ooh, it's almost warm. Here, let's watch the goodie part. Here we go. Oh, you can see me. Here, let's just make it easy. There we go. See, it's getting smoother. Just a yellow. It's a yellow liquid cream. That's what that is. Okay, one more mold. Here he is. Don't want that to fall off my little. Okay, here we go. Now, if this doesn't work, get you a knife, run around the edge. I think it has to do with what stage of drying it is. There we go. It still just has these little light flecks of flour here. That's so weird. Okay, looks like it has white specks on it. I guess it's just the flour. But look, I'll see how all these little raisins are all spaced around. See, even some at the top, they did not all sink to the bottom. Perfect. Okay. Now that I've done that, my hands are thoroughly sticky. Thoroughly sticky. So let me get this off. Now that right there is ready to eat. It is just barely warmer than my hands at this point. You don't want to dump it out too quickly. If you dump it out too quickly, it'll fall apart if it's too warm. So you don't want to do that. Later I'm going to put this recipe online too, in case you want this actual recipe. Of course, demonstration is a lot more fun. Now let's go back to here again. Stir. So while it's warming, you can just stir it and keep it heating. Yes, you will want to eat this with a spoon. So what this is like liquid icing. Instead of icing, we have this lusciousness. Ooh. And I'm spilling it on the outside. Oh, that's a shame. Look at that. Yummy. Okay, let's go stare at our cakes again. All right, so let me wash my hands because they're still too sticky. So what I do with these, as you see, I have 3 separate ones. So what I do is I take 2 of them, wrap them in foil once they're completely dry. They're still a little sticky on the edges right now. So wait for them to dry and completely come to room temperature so they don't trap moisture and get soggy. So wait for them to finish drying. Then I will wrap 2 of them in foil and put those in the freezer because they will keep fresher that way. Then I will have the 3rd one, which will be the one I'm eating on. And then I will take that one and cut pieces from it. And this can last in the freezer just like any other cake. It'll last in the freezer for a year if you want it to. You just wrap it well. Of course, it's not going to last a year. It's probably not going to last through December. This will be my December dessert. Okay, let's move some of this little mess I got going on here. Look at this. Yes. Look at that. Messy. All right. But you know, if it wasn't messy, it would be so boring. We got to have something to look at. Okay, there's my little cake tester. Let's bring this over here. Is it exciting to watch somebody clean? Ooh, it's so exciting. You know, I think some people do like this. This is my powdered sugar. Get that all done. I don't know what that has on top of it. Chocolate syrup, something. Okay, here we go. Clean up our little powder mess. This powdered sugar, it likes to get everywhere. There we go. Clean up the bulk of it. Wipe down the counter. And then I take those little cans that I used for molds, I wash those by hand. I do not try to put those in the dishwasher. I think the dishwasher detergent would eat them alive or something. So I just wash those by hand, let them dry. My little fancy Hunt's tomato sauce cake molds. Works though. That was what my father-in-law's sister did. She had cans. She said they were old baby formula cans in the 1920s that were her mother's. Who knew they made baby formula in the 1920s? I didn't realize that, but I guess they did. Okay, so here's what you do to serve. This is best served warm. It is better warm. So I take a knife, and I'm going to choose number 1. And I'm going to lay him on the side. Let's move this. I want to make sure you can see. And the easiest thing with it, this shape, it's a roll shape, is just to cut you a slice. I'm kind of creating my own shadow here with this. Here, let's do this. There we go. Cut a slice. Now, trust me, this is rich. You don't want a whole lot at one time. So I'm going to cut a kind of thin slice. Oh, look at that. And look, it's so moist. I don't know if you can see moist on a video, but trust me, it's moist. And raisins are falling through the trap. Okay, let me get those little raisins. Then I take it and I put it in a little bowl like this. Now that can sit there and finish cooling. There he is. Oh. Then I take a spoon. This is going to be a spoon I eat it with. Yes, you want a spoon. And I chunk it into pieces. So you just kind of take it and break it apart. Like this. Oh my. Look how yummy. Okay, so then it's all broken up into bits. You don't have to do this. It just makes it easier to mix it with the sauce. Okay, now because I like it warmer, I'm going to microwave this for a couple seconds. Let's try just 10 seconds or something and see how that does. I'm going to do 11 seconds. You know, it's easier to hit 11 on the microwave than 10. Because your finger's already there. So it's even faster. Alright, let's see how that warmed. Oh yes, nicely warmed. Because it really wasn't cold at all. If you had that in the refrigerator, you need 20-30 seconds or something. Okay, it depends on your microwave. There it is. Now watch this. I'm going to turn this off, this heat, because I don't need it to keep heating, because this is all I'm going to eat. Let me make sure this fits in here. It does. Okay. So, watch the beautiful magic. First, I'm going to stir this again. Oh, I'm so excited. It's been 2 years since I've had this. Then, I'm going to move this closer so we can see. Use something like a gravy ladle. Dip it in there. You can pour it from this jar if you want. Just realize if you lift it out of here, it's going to be dripping water from the bottom. You don't want that in your plum pudding. Oh. Now watch this. Drizzle. Drizzle. This is going to depend on you as to how much you want. After you eat it for a while, you will find out what you like. So you need a good cake to sauce ratio. Some people like the cake a little dry with barely any sauce, although it's not actually dry, but they like the cake a little bare with just a little sauce. Some people like it swimming. Trust me, if you have it swimming in sauce, it's going to be sweet. I mean, so sweet. I like it just enough to moisten all of this cake. Okay, oh, and that is nice and warm because it's getting warmer in my hand. Look at that. Then I'm going to take my spoon and kind of get it to absorb all of the liquid. Now, this no longer looks like any kind of an American cake you've ever seen, does it? I guess this is a little more similar to bread pudding in a way because I'm moistening it. But I will tell you, I don't like bread pudding, but I love this because it tastes so good. Okay, now look at this. The best part. It's dark over here. Watch. Sticky. Sweet. Raisin spice cake with hard sauce. Plum pudding. Oh, it needs a little more sauce. For me. Now what you do when you're done is you take this jar of hard sauce and you put your lid on and you store it in the refrigerator. Now when you store it in the refrigerator, it is going to kind of separate and it is going to, of course, get cold and firmer. It's okay. It will separate. It just will. We'll be fine. So then when you're ready to have more, you take it out. You can either microwave it or put it back in this warm bath in its own perfect little sauna. Where is it? There. You can put it back in there like that and just it'll take a little longer if it's been in the refrigerator. But do not put a real pan of real hot water on the stove and get it real hot and then take your jar out of the cold refrigerator and put it into hot water. You don't mix, especially things made out of glass. Don't mix it because glass will crack. Now this is a better glass meant for heat, but you can't always go to extremes of very cold refrigerator to very hot water or very hot stove to freezer. You got to give it some time to. So what you do is you put it in the pan from the freezer with the room temperature water, and then you turn on the heat slowly and let it heat up slowly, and then it won't crack your jar. Or take out a little bit, microwave. So much faster. Look. Look at that. Perfect now. All right. I'm having plum pudding. Now you can make it too. You can enjoy it too. I don't think there's a dessert I like better than this anymore. My lifetime favorite now. Okay, you all have a Merry Christmas. Make some plum pudding. Be adventurous. Give it a try. Trust me, you will love it. And have a good evening. Till next time.